For the next 7 days, I won't be allowed to consume the following things. No social media. I deleted all social media apps from my phone and won't be able to access these sites on my laptop as well. No digital entertainment. I'm not allowed to watch TV or Netflix and I can't play any video games. No junk food, which means that I can't eat any unhealthy food like chips or sweets. Regarding beverages, I will only drink water, so also no Coke Zero. No alcohol and drugs, no porn, and no music. So now as the rules were set, I was ready to embark on this journey. Let's talk about dopamine. People call it the chemical of want and desire, but why is that? Well, here's how it works. From an evolutionary standpoint, your brain rewards you for anything that will increase your likelihood of survival by releasing a neurotransmitter called dopamine in your brain. That's the reason why it feels so damn good to have sex or to eat a steak, because our brain thinks that sex equals the reproduction of our species and that a fat piece of meat equals a long-lasting satiation.
In other words, dopamine compels you to do whatever you want to do. Imagine you're in the middle of work when your phone dings. You know that sound, you've heard that sound a million times, so your brain responds instantly with a shot of dopamine. Suddenly you feel compelled to check your phone. A burst of excitement and enthusiasm drives your brain away from your work, so you pick up your phone, you check your messages, and realize it's just spam or a text from your mom. That rush of dopamine dies down, you put away your phone and you refocus on your work. When your phone dings again, the cycle goes on.
For this reason, drug addicts are willing to let their whole life fall apart, only to get that one hit of dopamine again and again. The terrifying reality is that almost every company in our modern society exploits this deeply rooted reward system by putting it on steroids. There are millions of experts specifically designing their products and internet platforms to release as much dopamine as possible in order to make us come back over and over again. That's why social media platforms switch from chronological feeds to an algorithm-based feed, and that's why video games have levels and ranking systems to keep us coming back. They give us constant dopamine hits as we jump from one post to the next one and from one level to the next one. And what makes it even easier for us to engage in social media, junk food, porn, alcohol, drugs, or any other source of instant gratification is that it doesn't take us any effort. We simply have to consume and are instantly rewarded with massive hits of dopamine. It's crazy to believe, but we live in a world which is designed to stimulate our emotions in order to maximize profits. It is scientifically proven that dopamine has a direct influence on the decisions we make and the actions we take. That's why ultimately dopamine controls us on a daily basis, and that's why billions of people unconsciously focus their whole life on consuming instead of creating the life.
The goal of a dopamine detox is to change your relationship with this powerful chemical. By fasting from dopamine, you're removing the sources of want and desire in your life. You're abstaining from all the things that control you on a daily basis. Because dopamine dependence creates a toxic cycle, a cycle that's incredibly difficult to escape from. By fasting, you're removing all sources of dopamine from your life and escaping your bad habits. So, what does a dopamine detox really do? This practice can significantly increase your resistance to temptation. It can give you a sense of control over your life. Right now, you may feel glued to your phone. You may feel like a ding, text, or notification has more power than you do. A dopamine detox may not amplify your experience, but it will affect your relationships with temptation and distraction. During a dopamine detox, you're forced to remove all temptations from your life.
I wasn't only able to notice my surroundings while running, but actually during every moment along the way. Before I started this detox, I was so self-absorbed that my mind was constantly occupied with everything else besides the actual things happening around me. I would think about a social media post that I saw an hour ago while talking to a friend, or be lost in a song instead of listening to the birds. But the less time I spent bombarding my brain with those short-term dopamine hits, the more I was able to drown out the noise and embrace the present moment.
Human interaction has become a popular component of dopamine fasting. People try to reset their brains by avoiding all human connection for an extended period of time. But this doesn't really do anything for you. In fact, the creator of this technique specified that avoiding human interaction was not part of his original plan, because avoiding human interaction doesn't affect your brain's relationships to dopamine. All this does is deprive you of love, solidarity, and connection.
And I just feel like you have to escape that constant stimulus that we have in our modern world in order to just zoom out and to reflect on where you're at the moment, in order to just see everything objectively and in order to make changes. And I really feel that I was able to do that by just having these moments of boredom. I think that they are necessary and that everything around us is kind of holding us back from having them. So yeah, I really enjoyed this detox and I hope that I can keep up the benefits for a couple of more days or weeks. These 7 days really showed me once again how much noise we usually expose ourselves to on a daily basis. It was mind-opening to see how lowering our excessive consumption can improve so many different aspects of our lives and therefore our overall happiness. I think that a detox like this can help everyone to see what it's like to live without this noise, and it is the first step to gain back control over your own life. So try it for yourself.